Welcome back to Forbidden Curriculum, where we talk about ideas and concepts that school boards across the country are trying to ban. I'm your professor, Dr. Esther Trujillo, and today's topic is about identity and representation. Look, I get it. These words sound like buzzwords, and to a lot of people, they don't mean anything. But identity and representation are at the heart of why ethnic studies is being banned right now and why people are treating it like a threat. People in power don't want us to truly know ourselves or understand the power that comes from our cultural ways of knowing. Identity is not just about what we say we are and what we're aligned with. It's also about labels that are imposed on us. We align ourselves with people, histories, and cultures that help us feel whole. Then society comes in and assigns labels that don't necessarily align with things that are important to us, with things that we believe are important and part of our value system. That is where confusion, shame, and resistance begin to grow. Representation is about how these identities show up in cultural productions. Those are things like books, television shows, and even movies, music, you name it. The problem is when a group does not control the ways in which it is represented. And we are unable to tell our own stories. From our perspective, our identities are flattened. We get stereotypes instead of multiplicity. So you get the Latino bandit, the maid, these caricatures, rather than the full spectrum of what our people are and what they're capable of. Because representation is so rare that when we do get any little piece, like water in the desert, we flock to it, we hang on to it, and we say, finally, representation, even if it's shitty. That is where critical ethnic studies comes in. It teaches us to ask, who created this image? When? Why? Who was funding them? What were they trying to do? What politics were they aligned with? Once you start asking those questions, you're demonstrating critical thinking, which is something that people in power don't want us to do. Understanding who you are and all of your complexities, joy, contradictions, that is revolutionary. Because when you realize that you already have everything you need to live a good life, to challenge injustice right here in your mind and here in your heart, you become unstoppable. Knowledge is powerful. Identity, representation is powerful. That's why we need to know these topics. That's why they're trying so hard to ban them.